Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and just a quick update video on my Asian pears, or 4 of them. I've now repotted 4 of the plants that I pruned in the video the other day into the fabric pots. The 3 largest trees, which were quite well established in the roots, I've put in the 95 litre pots, so that's roughly 20 that's just over 20 imperial gallons, which I suppose is about 22 US gallons. The Hong Li, which has always been my sickly tree, although it's branched out well last year, actually had terrible roots on it. When I took it out of the last pot, the roots were very poor, so I'm not convinced the plant will survive, but I've decided to put it in a fabric rock pot, which is meant to be better for root health anyway, because obviously it's it allows a lot more oxygen into the plant and it allows excess water to exit. So I've put it in a smaller 75 or 76 litre pot, so we'll see what happens with that this spring. I mean, if it does break out into buds and start growing, I would imagine the roots will find their way through the pot fairly quickly. I don't see any real problems with the others, they should be fine, but boy are they heavy to move, and boy do they use a lot of compost stuff. I've obviously been recycling some of my compost, but if I have to go and buy fresh bags of soil, it's going to cost an absolute fortune, because I'm going to, in time, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I plan to buy fabric pots and repot virtually everything into probably the grey 95 litre. I think that would be a reasonable size for most of my trees. Now I've made a bit of a momentous decision. I'm going to put this one in the ground, but I'm going to do a separate video on that, so we'll discuss that in the next video if you keep an eye out for it. So that's the 4. That's the Hong Li, the Shinziki, the Kumoy, and the what was the last one? I forget now. That one's, and the Nijisiki. The 4 of those are now in pots that I hope they're going to stay in for 3 or 4 years. I'm going to work out which location I'm going to put them in, and the other thing I'll have to do is probably stand those pots. I haven't got plastic trays big enough to stand them on, so I might have to find some tiles or slates to stand them in, because although the pots are good for ear pruning, the roots will grow through the bottom of the pots in no time at all. I'd find these plants rooting into the ground, which would be a nightmare if I have to move them, because they'll be very well anchored, and it'll also damage all the roots if I have to move them around. The whole idea of me having plants in containers is obviously they're mobile. I can get a lot more plants in, because if I put them in the grounds, they'll have to be planted a couple of metres apart. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share the video. I think it'll be useful. Do click on the bell, of course, if you want to know when new videos come out, and share the video, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Brett out for now.